No. Welcome to the Racer X Exhaust Podcast, brought to you by Yoshimura, in what has to be the craziest time of our lives. I was saying this to my wife last night. We'll just remember, pick a date here, March 16th, March 17th today, March 18th tomorrow. Just remember it. Remember it as, hey, you know you've heard about crazy things happening in history, and you thought to yourself, man, what would it be like to live in London during being bombed by Germany? What would that be like? And you watch documentaries or movies about crazy events, and they try to give you a realistic feeling of what it was like to live through those. Well, we're actually living in one of those right now. That is where we are. This is uncharted territory. If you have a great grandparent that is 100 years old, they will not be able to find a story that matches quite up to this. Maybe they've got something worse, but they definitely don't have anything the same. There was the Spanish influenza of 1918 that everyone's talking about, and Davey Coombs gave me a great history lesson on that. Okay, all right, maybe someone is 102, or sorry, maybe they're 110, and they remember being 8 years old then and what that was like, but I doubt it. In other words, these are crazy times, and I posted this on Instagram yesterday. A motto I used to use was, if it's good, it's good, and if it's bad, it makes for a good story, so it's still good. And I'm going to have to go back to that one now, because I cannot really find anything positive out of all this, obviously, except, my gosh, the stories we will have to tell, however this shakes out 10 years ago, 15 years from now, 20 years ago, telling your grandkids, so to speak, what this was like. It's going to be outrageous. I am not at all saying any of this is good. I'm just trying to find the one silver lining that I can find. No one wishes that they lived through bombing raids in London. However, if you did, the stories you'd have to tell, if you get out on the right side of it, would be incredible. And I think that's all I can come up with now. We're going to have incredible stories of what it was like to watch this thing unfold. Luckily, I've got a really good subject on that topic, Ken Roczen, who was a bit tip of the spear because it was before Daytona that he announced that he would not be doing autograph signings anymore. And now we look back at that as a minor little thing. It seemed like a big deal at the time. Kenny's immune system is compromised because of all these surgeries. So, of course, he's got to be more cautious than the rest of us. But then just a few days later, entire teams and companies were canceling autograph sessions altogether. And then the rest of the fallout. I'm sure you've watched some news at this point. We're in a completely different world than we were going into Daytona. Ken was nice enough to call me today on today's Wednesday and just give me an update on what he's doing. Of course, got to send a shout out to our title sponsor here, Yoshimura, also the exhaust system that Ken Roczen uses on his factory HRC CRF 450R WE Works Edition. And remember, Yoshimura-RD.com. They've got everything you need. 4-stroke exhaust systems and 7 decades of experience putting it together. We are allowed to go ride motorcycles right now. That's one of the few cool things that we can still do. Take advantage. I don't know if we'll be able to continue to doing that or what. Just do what you feel is safe and not safe. I am not the CDC. I am not the police. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just going to try to keep the focus on dirt bikes because I think a lot of the problems that we get into are not listening to experts on subjects that require experts. And I am far from an expert on disease. So let's go back to the motocross life and the supercross life. Here is Ken Roczen on this edition of the Racer X Exhaust Podcast. Actually, here, I'm gonna start an interview with you right here. Yeah. I almost feel like you were ahead of the curve. You said, man, I'm a little worried about my immune system, and then you decided to not do autographs, and that seemed like a big deal like a week ago. It seems like the most minor of deals now. It's amazing how much has gone, how much has changed from then to now.
It's like people, it's like, who was I talking about? Oh, I told JB, because even JB was like, whatever, it'll be fine. He was like making fun of me, and I gave him shit about it. I'm like, a week ago in Daytona, I decided not to do autograph signings, and that I was the crazy person.
You were.
And I always do everything for my fans, but that was just one of those things. Like, fuck, I'm still it's just my immune system is just still not there. And then they say for people with immune problems and those guys. So for me, it was like, I'm in this thing right now in the championship, and I would like to keep racing, and I want to keep everybody safe. And I feel like sometimes I have to also do what's best for me. You know what I mean?
But it has to be so weird to think of the conversations you must have had then. And again, it's only a week ago to now. What you did makes complete sense, but it sounded crazy then. It's amazing how much it's changed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that was a big thing at the time?
It was from one day to the other, right?
Yeah.
Like, everything was like the race was happening. I didn't even think of anything. I'm like, yeah, the corona, it's there, whatever, it's weird. We might not do any autograph signings. And then before you know it, I feel like one afternoon, they were like, I was talking to JB, we were on the phone, and he's like, dude, have you heard, like, that the race might be canceled? I'm like, what? We were literally about to leave to go to the airport like 20 minutes later, and I'm like, no way. So we actually postponed our flight from like, I don't know, 5 o'clock, whatever, to like 9:30 at night to see what if there's any more news or anything going out. And then obviously by that time, it was already said that, hey, the race is not happening. And we were like, holy cow, because I know that Chase, those guys, they were already in the plane to go there. I luckily didn't go. I haven't flown since like Atlanta, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, that's just lucky. Okay, so that's when you found out. You found out Thursday. You were going to fly Thursday.
Yes, I was going to fly Thursday, and then I was on the phone with JB, and he said that, and then I'm like, oh my god, like maybe we should just postpone our flight, and we did.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff. So luckily, I didn't end up going, and then even from then on, it was like the next 24 hours, it was like worse, and then next 24 hours, it was like worse, and I kind of knew that was going to happen because before when things like this go out. It's going to get worse before it gets better.
That's right.
And I still don't, then they were thinking about March, like racing in March, and now it's April, which I don't see how that is happening.
Not the way it's going. I agree. What do you do right now? Well, like, what is your schedule? Do you even know how to work around this?
Yeah, I took some days off throughout the weekend and just took it super easy. And I'm enjoying, like, it sucks that this thing is health related, right? But I'm enjoying the part where, like, there's no racing on the weekend, but now I can't, like, I actually trained pretty hard this week. I took some days off. I'm kind of going to go up and down a little bit, and because, it's so open when we're going to race. Like, we might not be able to race till God knows when, May, June, who knows?
Right.
And so I'm kind of just I'm basically like a normal person. Like, I'm going on bike rides. And actually, it'll help me. Like, I'm staying healthy and whatnot, but I'm going on bike rides, maybe not necessarily thinking like, oh, this is like crazy training, or I can actually push harder now a little bit because I'm not racing or anything.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of just going with the flow here. I'm riding a little bit here and there. I'm not overdoing it and going out on the boat a little bit. I was in the gym earlier. I'm just kind of like doing what I want to, I guess, which actually this week was quite of a lot, but it's nice when you don't like have to. You know what I mean? That actually makes me want to train more and go on a bike ride without having to be like, fuck, I gotta go.
Yeah. Yeah, so for you, I'm sure managing your workload throughout the season is critical. So you kind of are a little like unleashed right now because you don't have to be ready for Saturday this weekend.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
No, yeah, exactly. And then yesterday we were freaking doing yard work for 3 hours in the heat where normally I wouldn't do because it just hurts my recovery for the next day and all that kind of stuff, and I'm not really in the mood. But right now, I don't really have to prep for anything, so I'm actually enjoying my cousin. So my cousin is here, and his wife and his kid, and they were supposed to go on a cruise. They decided not to go, which was good because they'd be stranded out there.
Yeah.
So now there was a big deal with all the flying back and everything. So they're here. So we were just all working out in the yard, working in the yard a little bit, doing some yard work and that kind of stuff. And I don't know, I'm just kind of like living a normal life, I guess.
Well, I'm glad to hear you're enjoying it because, I mean, look, you've done a great job. You're right in the hunt. You're right where you want to be for the title. Has any part of you been like, damn it, no, I'm right where I want to be. Don't mess this up now. Or is it is the health thing beyond that at this point?
I honestly haven't thought of it that way.
Okay. Yep.
I mean, I think ideally I would love to be 3 points in the lead instead of being 3 points.
Well,
back.
Yeah.
But because I was like, when this whole thing first started, which I don't think this would have happened, but I'm like, what if they're just crowning Eli right now? And I've never been this far along in the season and been that well and like, been in this hunt.
Right.
and then this thing would just be over. But I'm like, there's no way that it could do that.
I don't think so, but I'm just saying you worked hard. You're 3 points down, but the title is very winnable for you. But at no point were you like, this is such a bummer, I need to keep racing because I can win this. Is it like too big a deal, I guess, to think about it in championship terms right now?
No, I honestly, I was almost all for. I'm like, you know what? Just because I don't know, it's just almost something changes once they said, oh, it might get canceled, maybe not, maybe racing without fans, maybe all this kind of stuff. I'm like, just freaking cancel this Indianapolis race and like, let's regroup and see where this takes us. I think was for the better. Like, I was actually for that. Sucks for the fans and for all this kind of stuff, but this was mainly because once you hear those kind of news, it's like, oh, well, what's going to happen? And it's like, I want to be in it mentally. Like, I want to go to the race and be like, hey, we're racing, like, no doubt, right? And then they were saying, like, maybe not or maybe yes. And then I was just like, I was thinking, like, dang it. It's almost like mentally something changes. It's the unknown a little bit, you know what I mean? I want to go to the race and be like, okay, we're racing, like, it's freaking on, you know what I mean? And then I'm mentally all there and 100% and, like, ready to go. And right then, after a few hours, and there was a very, very, very good chance that the whole race was canceled, I'm like, you know what, we postponed this, like, we packed our bags, I'm just sitting here, we're waiting, I'm like, I was almost for, like, let's just cancel this race, and as bad as it sounds because of the fans and everything, but, that was just me being like, maybe let's just regroup for either the next weekend or the weekend after, whatever it is,
Hey, real quick break in the Ken Roczen interview here, Jason Weigandt, Racer X. Keep the lights on, keep us rolling, support us and our magazine, Racer X Illustrated. And if you subscribe or renew now, you get your choice of 2 exclusive BG Creations rider stickers. You maybe have seen BG Creations, the cool rider drawings, caricatures that he does on Instagram. Well, we've got the stickers. We've got Justin Barsha, Jason Anderson, Ken Roczen, Eli Tomac, Adam Cianciarulo, Cooper Webb. Pick 2. We'll give them to you for free. If you subscribe, you can get 12 print and digital issues for just $30 a year. That is cheap. That is cheap when you think about how much money people are spending on subscriptions to other things. And it helps support us. Now, back to Ken Roczen. No, I think that's cool. You're being like a real person, not like, I got to get this race in so I can get those points back. Like, some stuff is more, right now, points might not be the most important thing in the world.
Good things take time.
There you go. I know I've been talking to teams and Feld's been in touch with them. Have they talked to you guys, or has the news come from the teams as far as like the latest? Like, how does that work?
Mainly the team.
Yeah.
Because right now, I was just like, I don't want to every day have the like, okay, like I gotta find out.
Right.
I'm just waiting for the call and be like, hey, they're doing this or hey, they're doing that. The rest of it, I'm just here doing my yard work, going on the boat,
Gotcha.
I'm training, I'm staying healthy. Like I said, I actually trained more, and it actually maybe gives me a chance to actually make another step forward.
Sure.
In a methodical way, because it might definitely be a few weeks till we start racing again. So I think you can be smart about everything and make a step forward. And then I think mentally it's just good to get a break. Yeah, it sucks that this thing is health related. I don't want anybody to think that, oh, I'm glad that this is going on. By no means, you know what I mean? But it is what it is right now, so I might as well make the most of it.
Yeah, so I guess knowing how your mentality, what you're explaining here is, as a racer, you kind of got to be in one or the other. You can't have like one foot in the chill out mode and one foot in the race mode. You need to just pick a lane, it sounds like right now, of how mentally you want to be. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, I think that's the best way of saying it. And once you get closer to racing, maybe a couple weeks or whatever, that's when you kind of buckle down and like really go. But right now, it's riding outdoors and getting in some time, getting comfortable on the bike, getting comfortable with the distance of outdoor again, all that kind of things it's crazy. Like, we work out and we do all these things and you ride outdoors and you are sore in muscle groups that you haven't been sore in a long time.
Oh, so you have done some outdoor stuff here and there.
Yeah, I'm just been riding. Like, I wasn't, pitboarding and motos and sprints and all this kind of stuff. I was just going out there and just riding and enjoying actually riding. It's been pretty hot here, but at the same time, we don't hardly ever, like, I feel like in Europe when I used to never practice with a pitboard ever. And it was kind of nice because you're not always worried about you got to be speed or this guy's faster or this and all this kind of stuff. I'm literally just out there because once I come to the race, I'm always a better racer anyways. And if I get confidence or if I'm comfortable with just what I did, whether I was fast or slow or whatnot, but at least I just want to feel my body and feel my body getting better. That's what gives me the confidence. And when I go to the race and the gate drops, I'm freaking going for it anyways,
Yeah,
I guess what I'm saying is I think a lot of people do these sprints and this high intensity stuff because maybe they have a little bit of lack of intensity, but I feel like that has never been the case for me. Like it's kind of coming. I'm actually really lucky in that, but it kind of comes naturally that when the gate drops, I kind of make a lot of passes and I'm like kind of like a freaking Formula One car. You know what I mean? Left, right, and moving forward. I guess.
Dude, you're pretty gnarly on the first laps of these races for sure. I know what it is.
Fun to watch.
It is. Some guys, I guess, need all those blocks during the week for their own confidence, but you just know I'll get it figured out when it counts.
I think there's actually a thing, there's fast twitch muscle and slow twitch muscle, and those types of muscles have to be trained completely different, you know what I mean? I have always been very explosive when it comes to whether that's gym workout or whatever it is. Like, my power output is very, like, split second right there, balls to the wall, where other people are, like Dungy, for example.
Yeah.
He's a straight slow twitch muscle. Like, he can put in, like, some crazy watts on the bicycle for freaking hours, you know what I mean? All those kind of things. And I'm a little bit, like, I'm very, explosive and short and, like, super fast, you know what I mean?
Well, we actually see it. I mean, you've been battling Eli like practically your whole life here, and that's kind of the way it plays out. You start quick, he comes on late, and it works out about the same. Like, you win sometimes, he wins others. It's funny to watch that. Like, you both have like completely different strengths and weaknesses, it seems like, and you've raced them a long time to see this happen all over and over. Yeah. But you guys are good. Like, you guys have battled so much. But personally, I don't feel like I've ever heard much issue between you guys.
Me and Eli?
Yeah.
No, we really don't. We're just, I think, I don't know, there's a certain amount of respect there, and every time we race each other, like, I don't even know if we've ever made contact, but that's a fun way of racing. Like, we may get close because, sometimes to make a pass, you can't, it is what it is. But, yeah, we've been very good, and I'm super cool with him, too. Like, there's absolutely no bad blood whatsoever.
Do you guys talk much? Eli's not the most outgoing guy anyway. I mean, do you even talk to him much? Like down on staging or after a race, whatever? Press conference time?
I think it may have gotten a little bit better that way. Like, if you just break the ice or whatever, you can talk completely, like, normal and things are normal.
Yeah.
I just think that he's just a little bit more quiet that way. I actually texted him the other day when all this thing, when this thing was going down and these double headers and all this kind of stuff, and I actually texted him and we were talking for quite a bit.
That's cool.
Other than that, no, I think he just goes his own way. Like, we're just a little bit different personalities, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's cool to know that you could text. It's not like we can't speak to each other because we're battling or anything like that.
Oh, no.
All right, my last thing, look, we don't know how this is going to end, but it does sound like you're pretty proud of how well you've managed it, even if it doesn't, however races get in, if you win the title or you don't win the title. But are you at least proud of, like, I've done it, I've managed my health, I've stayed in it, you've kind of righted all the wrongs you probably wanted to fix the last couple of years. So are you proud of at least that, however it turns out?
Yeah, I'm proud of, I mean, getting this championship would be at this point, because last year, with how hard and how bad I struggled, right? For me, I don't know, mentally or physically, like, everything was so tough at one point. I was just so over it because battling this crap, and then honestly, it's like I don't even remember what it feels like to be 100% healthy, honestly.
Oh, jeez.
It's kind of funny to say. So that side of things gets super tough sometimes. Having said that, I have been very proud. I've been proud of myself, been proud of my wife, everybody that's just around me, especially my team too, because obviously they see a lot of behind the scenes, and there were races where we were struggling with one thing or another, and we always kind of made the best out of it. Yeah. Obviously it sucks for me because I always want to go out there and win, and sometimes though I've really just picked my battles, if that makes sense, and I strike when I feel like I'm able to, Yep. So that side of things, yes, we have been really good. It's nice to, once we went East Coast. And I'm in a good, I was getting really good results. Of course, there's a couple of races that I kind of like almost turn a blind eye to right now because they were not so nice. But I think when people have those, because it's not just me. I think there's other riders. There's always a reason behind a lot of it, and it's tough to always make everything perfect. But for right now, yes, I'm very proud of what we've been doing, and the off-season days, and those are tough, and all those kind of things. So yeah, I'm very proud with where we're at right now, and My dream, like I don't even know what I would do. I think if I would win the championship or because I'm so close, right? And
Yeah.
my eyes are sparkling more every weekend after I did good or like, I just want to be in this damn battle. Like I'm over being in the halfway through the season or even more and be like freaking, I don't know how many points down and like all this shit.
Yeah.
And then it just becomes like, fuck, you're out there racing for like wins or whatever. But last year I was so far away from that even. So I'm just out there. I'm like, I'm very, very over it right now because things are not working right. So it's nice to be in the battle and just, I make history still for myself because even in the years where I was, like 2016 when I was hauling ass and everything, Dungy was just still so consistent that he always had a big points gap on me. And right now, doesn't matter how it plays out. Of course, I really, really want the championship, and I'm gonna freaking go to battle every single weekend. But I just wanna the best out of myself. I want to be my best. You know what I mean? Whatever that is, result wise.
Well, here's what I'm learning now. You always seem like about the same guy. Like on the track, you ride about the same, and you seem like a happy guy most of the time, and you always seem outgoing. But I guess what we're hearing is behind the scenes, it wasn't actually as happy as you were maybe making it look on weekends. But now you're in a much better place. Whether you win the title or not, it sounds like you're way happier than you were. You did a good job of hiding it, I feel, in the past, if you weren't.
Yeah, well, I am very happy with like my home life and everything. Those side of things are super awesome. So yes, mentally I've been very consistent this year and being really happy with everything. But I think it's just the struggles that come with a long season and my immune system still not being right. So then you're battling a cold
Yeah.
or those kind of things that of course nobody really knows. But it's more like that. There's some things happening at home when you get sick and those and stuff that just nobody really knows. And then when we go to battle and you feel like complete dog poop,
Yeah.
but then you still go out there and get a second or a hot fought, whatever. Yeah, I don't talk about it much because when I go to the race, listen, it is what it is, right? Like it doesn't matter what kind of problem I have. I'm still struggling with my freaking foot from Oakland. You won't believe that or not. I don't talk about it much, but I can barely go on a run right now because it gets so tender and so sore. It's unbelievable. And how many weeks is that ago? Again, I don't really hang that on a board or anything just because it doesn't help me on the weekends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It doesn't help me to talk about it. It doesn't because it is what it is. And I want to make the best out of it and just rather not think about it. Like it's there, but just the less I talk about it, I think the better it is for me.
But you know the difference between last year and this year. It's way better. You know it deep down inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And we always want to move forward. I wish that I would have my body from like before the injuries and
Sure.
the mentality and the wisdom and everything that I have now. I think that would be a murder combination. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, so you've definitely learned a lot through all this.
I've learned a lot mentally going to just everything. You learn every year. Like
Sure.
You think about it. We've been in this class for so long, but I don't know. There's just something every year where you're like, dang it. Like you think you know everything or you think you got it or whatever. And then there's always something whether that is dealing with something, you just learn about that. You learn to manage it and all those kind of things. And it's a big learning curve. And I think the same at the NBA, whatever, it doesn't matter how long you play. Like there's always something that's happening that is unexpected and you learn to deal with it. But I think it's what you make of it and the wisdom over the years. You just learn instead of freaking out and like, oh my God, and you got to like flip everything upside down. You kind of talk with your people, make a solution, pick a direction, and have confidence in it.
Here's what I think is cool, though. With the injuries you had and all the issues you dealt with, it's good to hear that you never gave up on the idea of winning and wanting to be in the title. Like, you could have easily been like, dude, this is hard, and, okay, maybe the title's not going to happen. But it's like you still kept that goal somewhere on the horizon of the real goal is to win.
I was there. I was asked Courtney.
At one point.
Or like during the outdoor season last year, I couldn't handle it anymore because, I was just, everybody that had like, I think, who was that in the not opening ceremonies, the press conference. I think it was Dakota's or something. He had something similar when he had Lyme's disease or whatever.
Yep.
And you just, you can't get, it was going on for months and months and months and all I was doing was freaking nothing during the week, go race and be miserable every freaking weekend. It's such a difficult combination to deal with over months and months and months. Like it's an everyday thing. It's not like you're sick for 2 weeks and then you're fine.
Yeah.
You know, it's whatever.
Yeah.
So I was very close where I told Court, actually after every weekend during outdoors, I'm like, dude, I can't do this anymore. I want to be done. Obviously, you say those things sometimes before you actually do it. Like that's a whole different thing. But
right.
That's how tough it was. I every time I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. So thinking about winning titles, that wasn't even the goal. You didn't even want to necessarily go to the races, let alone I'm here to win. Gosh.
Oh, yeah, because when I'm out there and I'm about freaking dying or about falling off the bike, where's the fun in that? It doesn't matter if I get paid or make money. It doesn't matter. At that point, if that wasn't for me, the money isn't a thing or anything, you know?
Yep.
I would be fine if I retire right now, but, you know, I want to race and I'm competitive and I want to just be working at my best. I am not afraid to put in work, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I actually love putting in a lot of work. There's something about suffering and then you feeling your body getting better and recovering. But, you know, right now we're doing pretty dang solid and I'm in a much better position than I was last year. But I'm just saying it was really bad at one point.
Okay, here's the perfect thing then. So I'll end this. You're like the poster child for everyone. Like right now, life pretty much sucks for everyone. This is a weird deal and it's terrible. A year from now, hopefully, we'll be like, man, remember how bad that was? And then whatever little thing we're dealing with in March of 2021, will be like, yeah, but it was nothing compared to last year. So you're like ahead of the curve. You can tell all of us how much worse it could be and how good it feels when you know how bad it was a year ago.
Absolutely. Yep. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So that's Ken Roczen. Again, a huge thanks to him for the time. I don't know. I guess you could say the riders have more time on their hands than ever. But I don't ever take it for granted when a rider's got something going on during the day and they give me 25 minutes or so on the phone. So thanks to him. Good to get some words from the front lines on what it was like to deal with Indy and then not racing Indy and how he's approaching the season. I didn't even expect to get to that level of championship talk. But you know how Kenny is. He's an open book and he'll tell you anything. So really always refreshing to get that kind of honesty. Stay safe out there, everybody. That's all I got for you. I wish I had more advice. I'm just trying not to. I'm doing everything I can to not look at my stock portfolio. That's the hardest part. Staying away from other people. I think I can handle that. Staying in the social distancing, I can do. Not clicking the app on stock prices on my phone right now is very difficult. I know that's not what's important right now. So just leave it alone. That's it for the Racer X Exhaust podcast, brought to you by Yoshimura. Got a lot of other interviews, a lot of other riders coming soon, so keep on listening. Hey, what else are we going to do?